Welcome back to Medicine Made Easy with me, Kavya Tendral. Now we will be discussing about an important topic in bacteriology. And before we actually go into the topic per se, let's find what is that bacteria with this clue. The clue is I cultured a specimen, but the result is negative. That means the person is symptomatic for a particular disease, but then still the specimen from the person is negative for the suspected bacteria. So it is negative for my expectation. Then again in a week, other specimen from same patient is cultured, and now the culprit, the bacteria, is suspected and confirmed by routine test. Did you guess that bacteria? And if you guessed the bacteria as Salmonella, your answer is correct. Yes. Welcome to the discussion on Salmonella. In this video, part 1, we will be discussing about the classification and antigens of Salmonella. The moment you remember Salmonella antigen, you have to know it is a complex antigen. Now, to remember the complex antigen and different types of Salmonella species and subspecies, we must be knowing the classification of Salmonella. Now, at the outset, Kaufman-White scheme, there is a scheme called Kaufman-White scheme which basically classifies Salmonella based upon the O and H antigen by agglutination reaction. Salmonella, apart from all the species present, we need to concentrate on Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi A, B, C. And again I stress on VI positive. What is the VI? Is surface envelope antigen. It actually VI is denoting its virulence, but then still we'll discuss what is the virulence status of VI antigen. If you are more wondering about why written 9247 here, you will get answer very soon. So Salmonella typhi VI positive and paratyphi C is VI positive to be remembered, and there's something called fimbrial antigen. This fimbrial antigen may or may not be present in Salmonella. As I've already said, the antigen of Salmonella is very complex. We are doing something called DNA hybridization. By doing DNA hybridization, we are finding that Salmonella is a genus. So remember, Salmonella is a genus. And further we identify there are many species, and we have grouped the species into Enterica and Bongori. Under Enterica, there are 6 subspecies. Of 6 subspecies, 1 is Enterica. Why at all should we know about this classification is, this is where we encounter the bacteria which is clinically manifesting and it affects humans. That is, all the pathogenic Salmonella are basically grouped under Enterica species only. And further, the subspecies are classified into serotypes by Kaufman-White scheme, which we have already seen above. Now, if at all you remember Salmonella typhi, it is basically Salmonella enterica, enterica typhi. So Salmonella is a genus, enterica is a species, and enterica is a subspecies, typhi is a serotype. Now this Salmonella typhi, what is the serotype is O9. So it has O9 antigen. Now, the moment we remember Salmonella, what strikes our mind? Typhoid fever. So majority of Salmonella is going to cause typhoid fever, and some may not cause typhoid fever. So what are all the Salmonella causing typhoid fever is Salmonella typhi and paratyphi, of which you also have to remember Salmonella typhi is going to have a VI antigen. In non-typhoidal Salmonella, one thing you must remember is Salmonella typhimurium. Typhimurium is going to cause non-typhoidal Salmonella, and majority of time it presents as gastroenteritis. This presentation of gastroenteritis is uncommon in typhoidal Salmonella. Now we come to the antigens. Basically, Salmonella is a gram-negative bacilli by gram staining, as we know. Now, what is the specialty of gram-negative bacilli is gram-negative bacteria has abundant lipopolysaccharide on cell wall. Now, this lipopolysaccharide is what we are mentioning as O antigen. Okay. Now, we know it is lipopolysaccharide. So, it has lipid component and saccharide component, carbohydrate, right? So, based on this lipid and carbohydrate components, we are testing. It is labile to formaldehyde and stable to alcohol and as well heat. Now we know this antigen is obviously a pathogenic one to the body, to the humans. Whenever the antigen is going to come and the infection is going to set in the human, the antibody for O is going to produce. But remember, it is less immunogenic. O antigen is less immunogenic. This less immunogenic antigen is going to produce an antibody, though O antibody. This O antibody is going to appear very early and disappear very early, and that is the importance is if you see O antibody in a patient with suspected typhoid, then it means it is an early infection. That's one important thing. To identify this O antibody, we do a viral test. In viral test, we see a granular, constant chalk-like clumps. Right? Whenever an O antibody and O antigen reacts, it is chalky clumps. Remember, like this, it is a chalky, constant, granular clumps. And then, what is the important thing you need to know again is there's something called bovine. There's someone called bovine. It is not bovine. Okay, it is bovine. Okay, you heard me right. Bovine. This guy called bovine took a cell, a bacterial cell, that is salmonella. He put a trichloroacetic acid and he isolated a O antigen, and that's the reason the O antigen is also called as bovine antigen. Now we'll discuss about what is this VI positive. VI is basically the surface envelope antigen. The surface envelope antigen is seen in typhi and paratyphi, apart from other things which is not our concern now. Now this VI, we have said VI for virulence, it is thought, but it is low, it is very poor, actually poor immunogenicity. As it has poor immunogenicity, it is not used in viral test. It is used in preparation of some vaccines, okay, because of low immunogenicity or poor immunogenicity. And as this typhi, paratyphi all have this VI antigen, phage typing is also done using this. This is one advantage. And this VI antibody, remember, usually this VI antibody is going to be present in a man during the infection. Supposing if it is still present after the recovery, that means in the convalescent stage, that it actually indicates the person may be in a carrier state. The majority of time there may be salmonella carriers for which we need to be very careful. He may be spreading the infection. So to identify, it may be having a VI antibody. That is to be noted. Now coming to variations of antigens, simply remember what are the antigens? They are febrile antigen, OH and VI antigen simply. So febrile antigen is going to be present or not, that's all. That's one variation. So let's leave it. Coming to the other type of antigen, see VI antigen, it is on serial subculture of Salmonella typhi itself, this VI antigen is lost. That loss of VI antigen is called as a W form. So W form of Salmonella typhi is on serial subculture of Salmonella typhi, this VI antigen will be lost. But whenever there is VI antigen is lost, what happens is, see this is VI antigen. When this is lost, its reaction with VI antisera is lost. The reaction with O antisera is now present. This is called a W form. This is called a W form. Now what is H antigen? H antigen does basically mean flagella. Flagella represents the flagella. Now what happens is when you culture at 1:800 phenol agar, this H antigen is inhibited. This is one point we need to know. And another point is Salmonella typhi 901O strain. That on subculturing this agar, we get this strain. This strain is basically normal strain. On this culture, if you take the culture and put it in the Kregis tube, if you subculture in that Kregis tube, we can take the motile strains. That's how means. So this is the Kregis tube. Now we have taken this strain. There are some partially, this strain is partially immotile. So we have put it inside. The strains which are motile will now try to come down, reach this bottom of the tube. This bottom of the big tube contains 0.2% of soft agar. In this agar, that bacteria will grow and it reaches the upper part where it forms a film of growth. So whenever we culture from this upper part of the agar, we can yield the motile strain. This is a Kregis tube. This is all about H strain. So you need to remember H antigen 1:800 phenol agar, H is inhibited. On a Kregis tube, we can get the motile strains, and Salmonella typhi is monophasic, but Salmonella gallinareum is aphasic. Aphasic means it doesn't have H antigen. It means it is immotile. So of all Salmonella, Salmonella gallinatum is immotile. Next is O antigen. Simple. O antigen is basically surface in the cell wall we have, right? It is the lipopolysaccharide. There are two things. One is lysogenic conversion. Lysogenic conversion is whenever phage is going to infect, the lipopolysaccharide is changed. That is one thing. And apart from that, there is something called SR conversion. That is smooth to rough colonies. As we've already seen in pneumococcal bacteria, the same is like rough, smooth and rough colonies. Here S to R conversion, the smooth become rough. It means what? Something from the outside is liberated, that is, or lipopolysaccharide side chain is lost. Because of side chain loss, what happens? The core of the lipopolysaccharide is exposed. Because of that, the entire bacteria will become avirulent. So the strain becomes avirulent. The cause is, how can a lipopolysaccharide side chain is lost? Because on serial subculture this can be happening. And how to prevent it? By doing a Dorset egg media culture in cold. We can prevent this LPS side chain loss and prevent the SR conversion, and as well by lyophilization we can prevent this change. So thus the variations in antigen is done. So O antigen, H antigen, VI antigen. VI antigen we need to remember W form. H antigen 1 is to 8000 phenol agar, Kregis tube, and motility about this. O antigen SR conversion, basically by serial subculture is happening, and phage infection, there is loss of this O antigen. Now the summary is Salmonella typhi as VI antigen, and remember VI antigen present after disease on the recovery phase. It does mean the person is a carrier of Salmonella infection, and O antigen is basically the lipopolysaccharide, and it is used in Vidal. If it is the antibody is present for O antigen, it means it is an early infection. H antigen is inhibited by 1 in 8000 phenol agar. Salmonella typhimurium is going to cause non-typhoidal salmonella. Serial subculture of the salmonella will cause SR conversion of O antigen, that in turn causes avirulent strains. Thank you so much for your patient listening. We'll now meet in next video. Until then, stay tuned.